Somewhere right now, someone is quitting, not loudly, not with a dramatic announcement, just quietly closing the laptop, deleting the plan, telling themselves, maybe this just isn't for me. And the tragic part, they were closer than they ever knew. Nobody tells you this early enough. Success does not leave because you are not talented. Success leaves because you stop waiting for it to arrive. You want the version of your life where things have already worked out, where the business is already profitable, where the body is already built, where the relationship is already healed, where the recognition has already come. But here's the truth nobody puts on a poster. Success does not fall in love with talent. Success does not fall in love with urgency. Success does not even fall in love with hard work alone. Success falls in love with patience, not the passive kind, not the kind where you sit around hoping, the kind where you keep building quietly, consistently, even when nothing around you proves it is working yet. Think about how many people had the right idea at the right time with the right ability and gave up 6 months before it would have changed everything. Think about how many dreams did not fail. They were just abandoned too early, right before the turn. That is the part that should scare you, not failure. Timing, because impatience does not look dramatic. It does not look like giving up. It looks like switching goals. It looks like starting over with a better plan. It looks like convincing yourself you were never really that serious about it anyway. Impatience is a quiet thief. It does not steal your dream in one moment. It steals it one shortcut, one comparison, one maybe this isn't working at a time. And here is what makes it worse. We live in a world that rewards instant results, instant replies, instant followers, instant delivery, instant everything. So when your goals do not move instantly, your mind panics and whispers, this is taking too long, something is wrong. But nothing is wrong. You are just early in a process that was never designed to be fast. Let me ask you something. What if the delay is not punishment? What if the delay is preparation? What if you are not being denied, you are being developed? Because if success came to you before you were ready to hold it, it would break you. It would expose you. It would overwhelm you. The waiting season is not empty time. It is the season where your character is being built strong enough to carry what you are asking for. Nobody sees that part.
Nobody claps for the version of you that kept showing up on the boring days. Nobody gives an award for the 10th attempt that still did not work. But those private, unseen repetitions are exactly what separate people who eventually break through from people who quietly disappear. Now, before we go further, if this is speaking to something real in you, subscribe to this channel, because this is where we talk about growth, patience, purpose, and becoming the version of you that your future is still waiting for. And share this with someone who needs to hear that they are not behind, they are just early. Let's talk about why patience feels so hard. Patience feels hard because it requires you to trust a process you cannot see the end of. It requires belief without proof.
It requires you to keep showing up for a version of yourself that has not arrived yet, that is uncomfortable. Humans want evidence. We want a sign, a number, a result, something that says you're on the right track. But some of the most important seasons of growth give you no sign at all. They just ask you to keep going. This is where most people break.
Not because they lack ability, but because they mistake a quiet season for a dead season. A quiet season is not a dead season. Roots grow in the dark before anything shows up in the light. So how do you actually practice patience instead of just talking about it? You stop measuring your life by someone else's timeline. Comparison is the fastest way to poison patience. The moment you compare your year 3 to someone else's year 10, you will feel behind, even when you are exactly on schedule for your own story. You separate your effort from your outcome. Effort you can control today. Outcome has its own timeline. When you tie your identity too tightly to results, every slow week feels like proof that you are failing. But effort is proof. Showing up is proof.
Discipline is proof, even when results are silent. You protect the process from your emotions. Some days you will not feel motivated. Show up anyway. Motivation is a mood. Patience is a decision you make on the days motivation does not show up. You stop asking, why hasn't this happened yet? And start asking, what is this season trying to build in me? Because patience is not passive waiting.
Patience is active trust. It is doing the next right thing without needing a guarantee. Think of anything valuable in nature. Trees do not grow overnight. Diamonds are not formed in a week. Even the sun needs time to rise fully. It does not explode into the sky. It climbs slowly until the whole world can see it. Nothing meaningful is instant. Not real skill, not real trust, not real success.
So if your dream feels delayed, ask yourself honestly, have I actually stopped? Or have I just gotten impatient with the pace? Because those are two very different problems. One means it's over. The other means you are simply in the part of the story that requires the most faith and the least evidence. Most people give up in that exact chapter, right before the shift. Do not be most people.
Here's that closing section, expanded to new 350 words, same voice and rhythm. Here is something else worth remembering. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the work without demanding an immediate reward for it. It means showing up on the days when nothing you do seems to move the needle and choosing to show up anyway.
It means planting seeds you may not personally see grow into their full size yet, and trusting the ground more than you trust your doubts. The people who eventually reach the level they dreamed of are rarely the most naturally gifted. They are rarely the loudest, the flashiest, or the fastest starters. They are usually the ones who simply refuse to stop showing up during the boring, invisible, unrewarded middle, the part nobody posts about, the part with no applause, no proof, no guarantee. That middle is not empty. That middle is the interview. That middle is where success is quietly deciding who deserves to keep it once it finally arrives. So today, choose patience without panic. Choose consistency without needing proof. Choose to trust the process even on the days it hands you nothing back, no sign, no result, no evidence that you're on the right path. Trust it anyway. That is the whole test. Because your breakthrough is not being blocked. It was never blocked. It is being timed. And timing is not rejection. It is preparation wearing a disguise. And if this video means something to you right now, do 3 things. Like it, so it reaches someone else who needs to hear this today. Subscribe so we can keep building this mindset together, one honest conversation at a time. And comment 1 word below, patient. Let it be a reminder to yourself and a signal to someone else scrolling past that they are not alone in the waiting. Because from this moment forward, remember, this success is not chasing the fastest person. It is not chasing the loudest or the luckiest or the one with the perfect timeline. Success is choosing the one who did not stop. And that can be you.